Welcome viewers, this is Windshare. Want to review the AS Val in Battlefield 4. Finally getting around doing weapon review of this weapon. One of my top weapons in Battlefield 3. Let's compare the AS Val at the top to the AS Val from Battlefield 3, the second stats there. Obviously they've gave it a damage buff, but don't read into that too much because essentially this weapon is much more weak than the AS Val was in Battlefield 3. And compare it to the stats of the ACE 52 as well. These stats courtesy of Simthic.com. AS 52 is a 3-bullet kill at short range, whereas AS Val can be as many as 7 bullets to kill somebody at range. And bear in mind that it also has just a fraction of the ammo capacity that it used to have in Battlefield 3 as well. And we could run it with 30 rounds in a magazine in Battlefield 3 with extended mags. No longer the case in Battlefield 4. Huge changes with this weapon. In Battlefield 3, it was a PDW. We could run it in all kits. And Battlefield 4, it's only a engineer class weapon, which is fine with me. But making an effective weapon. But it's not terrible. I mean, but there is no question to me, having 3,000 plus kills with this weapon as my second most used weapon in Battlefield 3. That in Battlefield 4, this weapon just simply does not have the effectiveness and the teeth that it used to have in Battlefield 3, which is a real frustration. I'm going to show you range clips here as I run through some gameplay of just the strengths and weaknesses of this gun, and just particularly where it just falls short, and it's very frustrating. Again, having used this weapon so much in Battlefield 3, to see the changes that the developers have made to the weapon, and just how it's just no longer what it used to be. Now, as you saw there in the stats beginning, it does 30 damage, which, initially you think, oh wow, that's great. Before it was doing a max damage at 20. But the thing about it was, in Battlefield 3, is that the damage model of 20 reduced very little. At the lowest damage it would do is 18, which at max was a 6-bullet kill, extreme long range, which you could still pull off. Again, with 30 rounds in a magazine, you could pull off at least several kills with that kind of damage model. Now that it's a 7-bullet kill, 7 is just too many, particularly when you only have 20 rounds in a magazine. So at best, you're lucky to pull off, 1 or 2 kills. I mean, theoretically, it's 3 at long range, but good luck getting those bullets to land. Even single fire, I'll show you that here in a moment. That extreme long range, this weapon is just not capable of making long range shots like it could in Battlefield 3. And with the 30 damage model, it drops off so quickly. It's very rarely, even firing at 900 rounds per minute, that you're dropping guys, at that damage, because it's like 10 meters or less. So again, close quarters, it is a good weapon statistically and practically. You're gonna see lots of kills here in this footage. A point blank range, this thing is, I think technically it is the highest DPS, damage per second weapon in the game. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it is at that fire rate and that damage model. Again, it's such an extremely limited window. More often than not, what you will find as I play relatively aggressively in just about all my gameplay, whenever I come up against a group of guys with this weapon, I'm screwed, because at best I'll be able to drop 1 to 2 of them, and that's all you're going to get with this weapon. Many times I just need a little more ammo to pull off that 3rd kill, because more often than not, you run across a squad of guys, good grouping of guys will stick together, and 3 is a problem for this weapon. 2, no problem. All day long I'll drop them. It slices through those enemies like a warm knife through butter. So that's no problem. But if ever another guy runs around that corner and you have to reload, I mean, you will reload spam this weapon so much. And more often than not, you'll be caught there with your pants down trying to reload the weapon. Now here's an interesting moment here. I've got the flag. I'm on a quad, and I'm trying to get back to our objective. I see the enemy with my flag, so I roadkill him and his buddy through the hole across the road, and only in Battlefield, right? That was a pretty funny little clip, and of course the javelin, I think, gets me here, and this is when the kill cam glitch was still in effect, so it was showing, well, maybe that guy did kill with M16, I'm not sure. But back to this weapon again. Where they went wrong with it, I can deal with all the stats in this weapon, but where they went wrong is not allowing extended magazine ammo capacity. You just cannot, with any weapon that fires 900 rounds a minute, it has to have some ammo to utilize that. Here's an example again. I killed 2 guys, get killed by the 3rd. Granted, I really wasn't looking that direction, but more often than not, that's the situation I run into with this weapon. You know, any weapon that fires 900 rounds a minute, you have to have more than 20 bullets in its magazine capacity. It just doesn't make you. It just doesn't allow you to utilize the weapon in its intended role with that few of rounds in it. And the other thing is that you will run out of ammo with this weapon very quickly. So, as an engineer class, you will really be relying on support class teammates here to throw out ammo to you. Now, here's a little interesting note here. The FN57 is a good sidearm. It's really good at range. This is one of the best aspects of this weapon. I dropped 3 guys here with this pistol, which you ask yourself, how many times could you do this with a Magnum or some kind of revolver? I really doubt that you'd have the ammo capacity or the reload capacity to drop 3 enemies with the pistol. And that's really, you know, you have to have a good pistol to complement this weapon, because a lot of times you are out of ammo or you're in that reload sequence, you need to kill out one last guy. So having a good complement pistol to your class is very important. I'm not saying it's the best pistol, but under the average battlefield encounters that I see out there, the FN57 is very well-rounded weapon for the type of engagements and ranges I experience on the battlefield. Now, headshots. That's something I really needed to make note of. I don't know if you've been watching the footage here, but try to take note of just how many headshots I get with this weapon, just shooting guys on the battlefield. And that really helps drop enemies. If you do pull off a headshot, it really aids to your disadvantage of not having that many bullets per magazine, because the moment you get a headshot, it's pretty much an instant kill with this weapon. Now, an interesting setup I like to run with this is a canted iron sight with a PKA scope. I've said this before. Even though this weapon's terrible at range, I like having the target acquisition as well as the versatility of this loadout to be able to at least see enemies where I want to go on the battlefield, maybe throw out some rounds at them to try to get some suppressive fire on them, and then quickly switch to my canted iron sights when I expect a close range engagement like I do here. It's a loadout I don't see many people run that often, but it seems to work well with this weapon. Now, here's an example of me going single fire. And watch how many hit markers I get on this guy at extreme long range. He's obviously a sniper. I think I get about 6 in all between the two reload sequences here. I think I got about 4 there, and I think I get 2 more on this one. I kind of slow down the footage here so you can just see. That's pretty frustrating. I mean, when you're going single fire with a weapon, and of course I've probably taken some suppressive fire there, but you get 6 hit markers on a guy and it doesn't kill him, that's kind of frustrating. And that's something you will see a lot with this weapon when you're shooting at people at long range. Now, these last few clips here, I'll wrap up here with some naval strike gameplay. You know, this weapon's not bad. I'm not saying it's terrible, but in terms of the other PDW weapons out there, yeah, I think the CZ3A1's a better option. That shoots even faster than this weapon. It's pretty much as, I think it's technically as accurate as this weapon, and you obviously have 30 rounds in a magazine like you should. Also, as I mentioned there, why not run with a carbine over this weapon? I really don't see any argument to run with this weapon over a carbine, especially like an ACE type of carbine, or even the SG553. About any carbine you would compare this weapon is superior to this weapon in almost every aspect. You know, so with those two ideas of mine, the AS Val as a PDW weapon, it's just underpowered. My conclusion is it's just underpowered in the fact that you just don't have enough offensive potential with this weapon in terms of its limited magazine capacity. Now, if you were to bump this up to 30 rounds, okay, let's talk. You know, that you would actually have a contender, I think, to argue that this weapon could be a preferable choice over those weapons I mentioned before. But again, in close quarters combat, technically this is, I believe, the highest damage per second weapon, but just bear in mind that's point blank range, and in those kind of ranges, anything's possible in this game, given the state of it at some point in time with technical aspects. So I hope you guys like this video. AS Val, I still like this weapon. I've got a lot of kills with it. It's just not what it used to be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this weapon. You know, do you like it? Do you think it's a weapon worth running with, or would you rather have a carbine or the CZ or something else like that? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I will have more Battlefield 4 reviews and content to come.